Well, now, hey, what's going on? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast happens because of sponsors to this free podcast. Terrytown RV. Man, I got to drop by and see those folks. They're on Division between 68th and 76th Street in beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. Drop by and see them. There's like a ton of places in and around that area that sell RVs, but I only want you to go to Terrytown RV. They're the biggest in Michigan and beyond. They have an indoor showroom with more than 200 units available for you to check out as the days get short and cold. That will help. It's like a camper and RV show every single day of the week at Terrytown RV. Online at terrytownrv.com. Awesome group of people there for a Class A, Class C, a Sprinter van maybe, travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever it is that you need. Consider going to Terrytown RV when the time is right. I'm kind of bummed. I'm not entirely sure, but every year in January, I believe it is, they have the camper, travel trailer, and RV show. Here in West Michigan at DeVos Place. But, it's kind of everything kind of in limbo these days with the nuttiness of COVID. But still, they continue to trudge on there at Terrytown RV. Go check them out. Meanwhile, if you are in the Holland, Michigan area and you're driving by Great Lakes Winery, Brewery, Distillery on East Lakewood Boulevard across from the Windmill Estates Mobile Home Park, pick up a bottle of hooch, okay? They don't like me to call it hooch. It's fine wine. It's amazing beer. It's grappa at Great Lakes Winery, Brewery, Distillery. Drop on by, say hello to the folks over at Great Lakes, and tell them that I sent you. Okay, thanks to them. The Eric Zane Show podcast for the 28th of October begins now.
Hey, this is Blue State Rob, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a show hosted by a liberal Republican whose ancestry dates back to the small country of Armenia and fueled by bouts of anxiety and adult attention hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. It's not the best, but still better than radio. Anyway, here's your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Blue State Rob. Look at you go. Hey, it's Blue State Rob. Ah, boy, I got to do it yesterday. Dirk and me, Dirk and I, are renting space for free in Blue State Rob's head. Oh, my God. It was just a shit show. Oh, cannot wait to tell you about that. It was so much fun. Oh, buddy, come on now. I'll explain. This is a daily podcast where I talk news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I do it every day live at about this time on social media. The live stream, that would be Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. Thanks for watching the show on Facebook. Thanks for watching it on the Periscope video. That is brought to you by Blue Frost IT, online at bluefrostit.com. And YouTube live stream, that's brought to you by F45 Byron Center in beautiful Byron Center, Michigan. Get in shape at f45training.com/Byron Center. Sign up for 1 week free. Okay, so that's how we do it. We do it live each and every morning at about this time, as I said, and I'm really proud because that is now 2 out of 3 days that we have an official on-time start. Monday, 8 a.m. sharp. Boom! Yesterday, I got started at 8:02. I am keeping track. Today, 8 o'clock. Oh, so are you telling me that 2 out of 3 days on time, a grand total of 2 minutes late on 3 days is unprecedented in quite some time? Seriously, it's really not a big deal. The fact that I'm actually talking like, hey, that's great. Yeah, hey, you came to work on time today. This is what happens when you don't have someone who's actually your boss. It's kind of like I just, you're my boss, and I don't like to let you down. So there you go. Glad to be here, part of this podcast as we get rolling. And my gosh, just a ton of things to talk about today, as always. All right, Dear Meathead with Dad is happening. And that, of course, is brought to you by JM Synthetics. It happens in 54 minutes from right now. And yesterday I referenced, man, I don't know what's going on with Dear Meathead. It seems like, I don't know, maybe people are getting sick of it. Maybe I should retire it. I mean, I was just basing it on the response. Basically that's you dropping questions, simple or complex, long or short, to my dad. Actually, the shorter the better, for Dad. If they are a little longer, I'll shorten them up for you on your behalf. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed like I wasn't getting much traction, much response on that. So I thought, well, maybe people are tired of it. But boy, was I wrong, because there was a ton of activity yesterday. So much so that there is zero chance that I will be able to get to all of those questions. So if you sent one, I had to build a folder on my computer here to be able to have them all. All right, I'll just file these for a later show. So thanks a bunch for that. That is really, really great. I was a little worried, I didn't know what was going on there. So we'll get to that with Dad coming up. Always wonderful to talk to Dad. It'll be fun. Incoming, an asteroid might hit the Earth. Now you're thinking, okay, now seriously? Well, no, this is definitely a thing, and I'll tell you all about it. I didn't like what I read. It made me very uncomfortable. An asteroid might hit the Earth in the lifetime of a lot of you listening or watching, and maybe even me if I live to like 98 years old. I will tell you about that. Okay, do you remember the statement that when I was on my old radio show on Freeburn Hot Wings, we used to constantly say, it's funny because we don't know him. And then we'd laugh uproariously at someone's misfortune. That kind of continues to this day. I mean, case in point, the story of the guy, the backyard wrestler, who I talked about a little bit on the Patreon Monday, and then I talked a little bit about on the free podcast yesterday about, this hillbilly, this dumbass, this fat ass, this is why you shouldn't be fat, just usual nonsense, stupid, ridiculous statement. Says the guy, he was on the turnbuckle and he jumped and he hit the mat and both legs broke in half. Remember that? The video I wrote, look at this hillbilly. Oh, my God. Well, oh, boy. Not so funny now. Not funny at all. There is a person behind that, and I actually, I can't say that I won't ever. It's still funny, okay? It's still damn funny. And so one of the comments I saw on the GoFundMe, which I'm going to tell you about, says, I'm giving you money until this goal is met because I laughed for 1/2 hour at this. This is serious shit. That guy is badly, badly hurt. I'll tell you, I'll make you feel bad. And I actually reached out to the a young lady who is doing the GoFundMe, and I hope to have her on the show in the next day or so. Talk about the guy. Incredible. Baseball. The Dodgers win the World Series. A friend and fan, Mike Ball from MB Distributing, a huge Dodgers fan. Oh, my gosh. It's the first time since 1988. Kirk Gibson, yeah. If you can finally put that to bed, you don't have to go back to that one. The Dodgers have won the World Series since the first time since 1988. Congratulations. You all have COVID. What? Okay. This is so stupid. I'll explain. I don't understand when it comes to COVID and just some of the lack of understanding on this thing. It really is it doesn't compute. Okay. I'll explain what's happening there. That's all tied in. Baseball, COVID, and I just don't get it. I don't understand why people do what they do. 6 days till this election. Okay. We have to discuss from yesterday the Biden gaffe. This is how Rob and I, Red State Dirk and I are living in Blue State Rob's head. I mean, this is Rob, what are you doing? Oh my God, this was so bad yesterday. It all is involved with Biden's gaffe that I played for you. It happened on Sunday. He was doing that fundraiser, and he said, we can't have 4 more years of George. And it's like, wait, what just happened to you? Okay. I'll explain to you what's going on. Also, Trump's commercials are just so stupid. God, they're just ridiculous. When I see his political ads, it's like he must be just doing this all for fun. This is all a hobby. Is the presidency a hobby for him, and he's just screwing around, laughing and having a good old time at our expense? When I see his political ads, the guy is just a kook. He's turned into like a slapstick comedy act. We will discuss the ridiculous ad that I saw for Trump. Kevin in Muskegon, he reached out to me. He said he wanted the story behind my mugshot from when I went to jail when I was 18. And I'm like, all right, I'll bite. I haven't told that story in forever. I might as well. Tell that story to you. Okay? So I will I'll end the show with that story. Reminders. The Ben and Eric podcast happens again this week. I had spoken that I would be doing this on Thursday in the ever changing time frame of that show. I've changed it. It is happening this week, Friday at 6 p.m. I'm going to have a free view on Facebook and Twitter for the first handful of minutes of it. Okay. Otherwise, the whole show is live streamed on Patreon with the audio podcast posted on Patreon shortly after. $5 or $10 a month. One more loose end to tie. I should say just an announcement. I was going to do this event, but I've kind of pulled back a little bit. Harbor Humane is having their big trunk or treat pet costume family fun day. Like, oh man, outdoors 3 to 5 p.m. Saturday at in Holland, Michigan, at the Shops at West Shore. It is a socially distanced event for this year's trunk or treat. Join those folks. Hang on, I got to clear my throat. They'll have pumpkin painting and a canine costume contest. I'm really disappointed I can't be there to judge this thing, because I would have put the wrecking crew here in costumes. I wanted them to go as 4 ghosts, do like 4 dog, like cut the holes in the sheet, for their ears and their nose and their eyes. My 4 ghost dogs. You can just imagine that. So, that is happening on Saturday. Okay. So that's all on the way for this show. Thank you again for being here, part of this one. And Jason asks, hey, did you get a new heater? Yes, I did. Look at this. That's all I need. No big deal. In case you missed it yesterday, Madison decided to freaking just take my my heater and put it into her room. Why did you do that, Maddie? Well, it's freezing in here. Why is it freezing? I don't know. You look, and she's got the air mattress laying on top of the heat vent. I go, well, that's why it's freaking cold in here. My God. Well, what she did was she just left it on high, and it's working, trying to get the room up to 88 degrees is not going to do it, but it worked so hard for so long, it just destroyed it. So thanks for that. yes, I did go and buy a new damn heater. All right. So thanks to all you folks who are enjoying the live stream. I'm just basically quickly glancing over the comments and the names and faces of the usual suspects that are on there. Just at first glance, I'm really amazed at the volume of comments that one person, Kenny in particular, makes. The amount of dialogue, it's like he's just a typing machine while this is all going. It's like I could probably say right now that I have cancer or something like that, and he wouldn't hear it. He'd be like, "Wait, what just happened, man? Why is everybody freaking out on the damn thing?" He wouldn't even know. He wouldn't have any idea because of the sheer number of stuff that he fires and the dialogue between people. My God, it's like an entire community of gossip. Holy cow. All right. So welcome into all of you. I'm so glad that you are here and enjoying the podcast, as it will be posted wherever you download podcasts a little bit later on when we finish up the show. Okay. First of all, let me get into this. This is something that comes in the mail from the insurance company. And, it's one of these things that says, this is not a bill. This is a rundown of costs, and it's for Jackie. And it's regarding the knee surgery. And I can't understand how it's so expensive. Really. And it's just like, side note, I have a friend who is he's got about 1 year left in a residency before he becomes a urologist. And this might be one of the reasons why medical costs are so high. This guy, and I'm not faulting him for this, but I mean, he goes to school for, he finishes high school, and then with college, and then all the work that he has to do to become a urologist, you're looking at about another 12 to 15 years of college after you graduate high school, college and residency. So you're 18 years old, you graduate high school. From there till about 33 years old, you have school and residency to become a doctor. He will be a urologist in the state of Michigan when he's about 33 years old. And the amount of money that guy is going to make in the first year is probably, from what I'm understanding, between $400,000 and $500,000 a year. And I'm like, my gosh, that is so worth it. I mean, you're like, oh yeah, but you got to go to school for that long and all those student loans. It's like, yeah, who cares? $500,000? Can you imagine 1 year of that you pay off all your student loans? That's well worth it. Well, it all kind of ties into this because I got this affidavit about the amount of money it cost Jackie for that most recent knee surgery. She's had so many, I've lost count. But this latest knee surgery, and this is how much I owe. Oh, the insurance company says, this is what it costs. This is how much you owe. Is $49,256.79 for this surgery. Now, I've got Obamacare, and it's not the best policy, but it's Jackie, if you reach a certain amount that you pay on the deductible, it's covered after that, like 100%. And we definitely met the deductible for Jackie. I think this year alone, I paid almost $14,000 in medical bills out of pocket. Over $8,000 was Jackie. They actually said that we owe 1 cent. You can't see it, but it says your cost 0.01, and I'm like, why is this a thing? Am I actually going to have to send you 1 penny? And I kind of want to not pay it to see if it goes to collections for a cent. Then I'll be on the news where they like take my house or garnish my wages or something ridiculous like that. Okay, we've got a little personnel issue here in the household, as kind of like to tell you these things from time to time. Since late July, we've had the dynamic here in the Eric Zane Show podcast household where Diana's brother, Kevin, lives here. And I've given you the background of No Filter Kevin. And it's always worth repeating, though. This happens because of, well, you know what? I'm not a physician. I don't know why Kevin has such a short fuse. I don't know. I know that he does have a short fuse, and it's always ugly when that fuse lights. And I know that there is an unbelievable amount of overreaction for even the simplest of things. So if you ask him, hey, did the Tigers blow that lead? He's going to tell you in the most animated, exaggerated way, complete with elaborate hand gestures and contorted face and swear words. It makes me uncomfortable thinking about it. It makes me uncomfortable doing the impression of it for you on the camera, but I will. Okay, yeah, so the Tigers blew that lead. Yes, they did. They gave up 1, 2, 3 fucking motherfucking runs. Okay, it's like that. Okay, so and then you're just sitting there looking, and it's awkward, and you're just like, oh. And it doesn't really resonate with him that's way, it doesn't match with the question. It's never appropriate, ever. So, now I have wrapped my mind around the idea that extreme patience is needed here. If I don't have extreme patience, I will be busting his balls about everything he says. And if I do that, it's going to make for a disturbingly terrible household. So everything slides with me. I'm like, yeah, oh, okay. And it's like, that's the only way this is going to work, because I honestly don't think he can help it. And so I just let it go. So, but that doesn't mean I can't tell you about it, because it's just ridiculous. But this was the dynamic yesterday, 2 days ago. And I'm getting ready to take the dogs for a walk, and Diana isn't home right after school. She decided to I don't know, do a ship shop or something like that. And now I don't know this, but apparently a conversation had taken place between Diana and her brother. And it was about buying a Christmas tree off someone on Facebook Marketplace. And it was just kind of thrown out. It wasn't for sure. There was nothing definitive in it. And then Kevin said, well, I'll go with you. I'll help you pay for it. He loves doing that. Okay, cool. But nothing was set in stone. Not a thing. Now, I don't know any of this. None. And I'm getting the dogs ready to go. And then he goes, hey, we're ready. He's got like his accent is somewhat Southern. I mean, he was his parents spoke with a very thick accent. And so it rubbed off on him, even though he's lived in Michigan his whole life. Hey, we're ready. It's what Diana's known as when she was growing up. Ready. We're ready. Yeah, I think she did a ship shop. Oh, she's gonna go get that Christmas tree. And that to me, I don't know what any of that means. So I go, and I didn't really understand him. I go, and so I was confused. I go, I'm sorry, what's up? Now, this is where it gets weird, because his fuse then burns because I don't know what he's talking about. And he's now going to tell me just like this, right to my face. She told me she was going to get a Christmas tree. motherfucker. Now, the ghetto side of me wanted to stick my foot so far up his ass that my shoe, you can see the shoe in the back of his throat. I just wanted to stomp him. And I'm like, motherfucker. And so I'm just looking at him going, oh. But I kept it together. I did what I was supposed to do. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'll have her give you a call or something. I don't know. Got the hell out of there. I'm like, oh, my God. Deep breath. Breathe in. I mean, what would you do if that were you? You would probably say something, but it's just so much easier this way, and it's entertainment. I mean, and I can have something to talk about with you, so we can experience this together. Eric, you better hope he never ever hears anything about this. He's completely unplugged. He's living in like 1972. There's no way he's an island. Put him on an island, guy. All right, that is the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast. I hope you enjoyed it the same way I enjoyed it. It's brought to you by Horizon Hydroponics. God, I got to get over there. I got to do another Growers 101. Horizon Hydroponics with 4 brick-and-mortar stores in West Michigan. I guess Lansing's not really West Michigan. But you got Grand Rapids on Alpine, the Growers Outlet in Byron Center, Michigan. And then, of course, the Kalamazoo location and the Lansing location. Everything you need to grow whatever you want to grow indoors. I'm sure there are maybe a few people that like to grow whatever, marigolds indoors or tomatoes or celery or I don't know. Or, 99% of their customers, marijuana. If you're growing cannabis indoors, you need to tap into the resources of Horizon Hydroponics. Tents, lights, fans, air scrubbers. Oh, my God, they have everything you need. The place is fantastic. It's like a candy store for you people that are growing cannabis in the great state of Michigan. HORIZEN, hydroponics.com. That's where you go if you want to buy it all online. Orders $250 and more. The shipping is free. Use Zane Show at checkout for 10% off. And there's a phone number on their website you can call ahead and or just call them and say, hey, I got questions. They'll walk you through everything. They're all very knowledgeable about this. Okay. It's not like they're just sitting there ringing stuff up and they don't have any information for you. It's like, all the information you could possibly want. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Find them online at irvines.com. Repairing cars, domestic, Asian, European. Hybrids, of course, 616-532-6600 for Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's one thing for me to tell you about them. I am a paid endorser, if you will. But go look at all those Google reviews from satisfied customers that are just happy to spread the word about their amazing establishment and the great work that they do at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you're in West Michigan and if you want to know where this is, let's say you're on 44th Street. Well, there's this side street just a couple of blocks east of 131 called Stafford. That's where they are. Irvines.com, 616-532-6600. Kent County Health Department. Amazing group of people over there working hard to keep us all safe. They've got 4 COVID testing stations in and around West Michigan. Just bang on their door and you can get that done. It's like a drive-up variety. And their website is accesskent.com/health. Kent County Health Department want to make sure that you have everything you need when it comes to vaccinations for the kids. They want to make sure you're covered with flu shots. And if, things aren't so great financially, they can help you by walking you through the entire WIC program. All right. That is set up for you. You pay into it your whole life while you're earning money. You probably don't even realize it. But that's how that is funded. And if you need it, you tap into it. Use it. That's what it's there for. They want to make sure that you are fed and your kids are fed and your family is okay. All of this can be found with the Kent County Health Department. accesskent.com/health. All right, God, it is looking like a nice day, nice morning, nice and bright, sunny morning, and just a ton of people checking in. I see Kevin in Muskegon finally got out of bed. It's actually pretty early for you, Kevin. He is there. Red State Dirk Joe Hughes says I should bring Kevin on the show. God, man, I am. I don't know. I'm just worried about that. Joe says fight him in the streets. No, we don't. No. It's a horrible idea. Backyard wrestling grudge match for Kevin. No. Where he's very, very sweet and kind, and he always is so incredibly helpful. It's just that whole dynamic that I was telling you about. There was one more thing I need to tell you about him. There is a it's all again. These are just observations. These are just things that maybe eventually over time we'll have a discussion with him about. But it's. Short-term memory is not a strong suit here. Okay, so it's I don't know. It's just that type of dynamic. No Filter Kevin struggles with where he should stand. I noticed it, and then I didn't say anything, and then Diana brought it up to me. And I noticed it the most when friends of the family visited on, what day was it? Sunday? I don't know. I was telling you about when Julie and Mark came over a couple podcasts ago. That's the lady who owns the decorative concrete business in Chicago. I think that was Monday. I told you about her. And son of a bitch. I say, hey, Kevin, come on in. I want you to meet Julie and Mark. I haven't seen these people, and I haven't seen Julie in 40 years. I was a little boy when I saw her last, or talked to her last. And her husband, Mark, I've never met. So we were hitting it off, having a great old time. I go, Kevin, come on in, man. I want you to meet these folks. He comes walking in, and I go, Kevin, this is Julie, and this is Mark. And he's like, hey, how are you? And it's all good. It's fantastic. I go, yeah, Kevin, for the longest time, lived with his brother David, Diana's brother, and he David unexpectedly passed. So we said, well, come on in, join our family. So here he is. So that's basically how I tell the tale. And if it ended there, if him saying, well, it's so good to meet you, or just hung out with us, that would have been fine. But he started standing way too close to Julie. Okay. You see Daisy right there? Let's pretend that Daisy is Julie. Sorry, Julie, if you're listening, or any of Julie's sisters. Julie is not a bulldog. But I don't have anybody in here to do the example. So Daisy is Julie. This is how close Kevin got. Hold on. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. And then a little bit of time passes, and then he creeps up, and he's like, hold on. He's like this close to her. He's like having a conversation, and he's standing this close to her. And I could tell she was kind of moving over, and then he would get closer. Daisy's like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I'm out of here. And so I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? Why is he standing? And then it's always when her back was turned, he was it was all creepy. It was all Jeffrey Epstein-like, it was right. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing so close to her? And then Diana goes to the store a day and a half. I don't say anything. About a day and a half passes. And Diana goes to the store, and I go, hey, how's it going? The shopping issue. I mean, how's it going with the shopping? She goes, oh, fine, but No Filter Kevin has a personal space problem. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, well, every time I turn around, he's standing right next to someone. These are strangers who he's not introduced to. I mean, he's right next to them. And I don't know if you know this, but everybody in the world is freaked out about personal space. I mean, it's the one thing that's on everyone's mind is personal space. And the guy who now lives in my house has no boundary for fucking personal space. Back the fuck up. And so Diana notices that there'll be someone like at the store, there's that area where there's spices, and there's always a million spices there, and that's always a big slowdown to find the spice. And you're looking through an ABC, McCormick, Sage, I got it. It's like that type of thing. It's like looking for a book at a library, and he doesn't wait. And so he just goes right up and stands directly next to someone, right next to them, and is just oblivious and looking at the different spices and, cinnamon. Okay, great. Fuck. It's just, and so I actually, where I told you that for me, I'll let him talk to me the way he talks to me. I don't give a shit. But I'm going to actually have to have a talk with him about in public, the person, he's going to get his ass kicked. Someone is going to punch him in the face. And, oh, fuck. We just cannot have that. So that's the old personal space issue going on with old NF Kevin. God be with us. Please pray for us. Pray to the saints for us. Okay, Dear Meathead coming up in 23 minutes. Should be good. I don't even know if this microphone is going to reach. Hang on. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Oh, that's Ben's microphone I use for the Ben and Eric podcast. And sometimes I don't have it set up right. I think it's good, though. Hey, so yesterday on the show, we talked a little bit about this. And I don't even know if he's in attendance right now. Blue State Rob. Is Blue State Rob in attendance? I don't think he is. I know that Red State Dirk is. Okay. I don't see Blue State Rob. Hey, is Blue State Rob? All right. So this all comes to us from the fundraiser Sunday. The fundraiser was a Biden deal, and he was on a video chat, and he's sitting next to Mrs. Biden. Now, this is what he said.
This is the most consequential, not because I'm running, but because who I'm running against. This is the most consequential.
First of all, I always hate it when he does this. He starts a sentence, and he gets 3 words in, stops it, starts a new sentence to kind of like validate the first sentence, but we don't know what the first sentence is. So he gets 3 words in, stops it, validates the sentence, and then goes back to the first sentence. It's always difficult to follow. He does that all the time. Now, whatever, it might just be the way he talks. And I think, hell, I do shit like that. But that's one of the things you have to understand when he's talking, that you're going to hear him jump around all the damn time. Trump's one of the worst at it of all time, but Biden does that too. But that isn't the real problem in this clip. There's another problem.
This is the most consequential, not because I'm running, but because who I'm running against. This is the most consequential election in a long time. And the character of the country, in my view, is literally on the ballot. What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, going to find ourselves in a position where if
4 more years of George, wait, hold on. Let me hear it again, word for word.
Going to find ourselves in we're going to be 4 more years of Georgia,
4 more years of Georgia.
Country we're going to be 4 more years of Georgia, going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
Okay, so then he puts it together and just goes off and goes in a completely different direction after his brain goes psycho. Okay, 4 more years of Georgia. He said the word George. Okay, so then I played that yesterday. I got it just before the show started. Red State Dirk sent it along. Well, that got Blue State Rob. He was like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. I knew this was going to happen. That's all bullshit. I'm like, well, wait, what's bullshit? Come on. Context. I go, well, what is it? Tell me. Don't keep it a secret, dum-dum. He was it's simple to explain, Zane. He was being interviewed by George Lopez. So that's easy to understand why he would say 4 more years of George. And I wrinkle up my nose and I'm looking at the email and I go, yeah, you see, he says, the Republicans are making it seem like he was saying George Bush, but he wasn't. He was saying 4 more years of George Lopez. So I take a look at that, and first of all, I thought, well, how do you know what George he was thinking of? Okay? Fuck, he might have been thinking of George Washington for all we know. But I know what he wasn't saying. He wasn't saying 4 more years of Trump, which, is the only thing that makes sense. And if you say anything other than the word Trump or the name Trump, that's weird, right? In fact, I would rather, if I'm a Democrat, him say George Bush than George Lopez. You know why? At least George Bush was a fucking president. And I go, dude, him saying George Lopez is worse. If he was thinking George Lopez, and you're never going to know that, that's worse. What are you doing? Why are you pointing that out? Yeah, well, it's because they were. Oh God, there is no way that anything that flew out of his mouth is anything but an absurd gaffe. And if it's George Bush, it's bad. If it's George Lopez, it's worse. Oh my God. And so I just found this amazing in the whole dynamic of things, because again, you know me, when Trump's an asshole, and I say that all the time on this show. Okay, Trump is an asshole. Biden is absolutely brain dead. Okay, this guy is mentally deficient. He has his cognitive ability is 100% impaired. Don't act like it's not true, okay? And don't try to tell me, oh, yeah, it was no big deal that he's saying 4 more years of George Lopez. Oh, my God. And so I was just letting Blue State Rob have it bad. I was murdering him over this. Oh, and he was getting his panties all in a wad, and I was just having a grand old time. It was absolutely spectacular. What a crash and burn. Holy shit. Ooh. Kate says no coming back from that sentence. Yeah, I just have a hard time taking anyone serious who is trying to take that statement and say, no, that was no big deal. No, it was a huge deal. You heard it. And to try to tell me that the George that he was referring to is not the George that I was thinking of, that does not make it any better. Oh, my God. All right, let's take a look. I just want to see some of the aftermath of this one. Biden is really starting to look bad, says Jason, and fatigued. He had like a 45-second fumble a day or two ago when he just couldn't get his thoughts out. Well, I do that. George Lopez, 4 more years of him makes 0 sense. Yeah, I'm telling you, if he was referring to Bush, it would have been better. At least he was a president. It's amazing, Nick writes, how Blue State Rob has to tie things in knots to try and get the narrative he wants. Rob, you're getting killed. Why are you missing the free podcast? I don't think he's here to hey, you know what? Don't say anything. Maybe he won't even pay attention. Maybe he won't even catch the free podcast. If he does, he's going to end his Patreon. He's going to be like, oh, fuck this. Fuck you guys. Fuck off. I'm sick of you. Oh, come on. Lighten up. Jason Mays replying to Jason Schaefer says, well, you could decorate his basement to look like the Oval Office and he probably wouldn't know the difference. That's just mean. Jason Schaefer says, you win, Eric. Jason Schaefer again says, Biden is 15 years behind. Joe Morin says he'll say it was because of his stuttering problem. I don't know about that, man. Stella Fly Laura is as blue as they come, at least in this election. So, I'm anxious. You know what? She's like a really, really great to talk to. Incoming. Hey, Siri. What the fuck? Why didn't it work? Hey, Siri. Call Laura Caprara on speaker.
Calling Laura Caprara on speaker.
How do I get Rob on? Because he'll just have a temper tantrum, freak out.
Good morning.
Oh, my gosh. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so I'm not as sharp as I usually am.
Oh,
but
that's okay. This is going to be easy.
It's
really
probably
easy.
better. Yeah, it's probably better.
First of all, how are things at Stella Fly?
Stella Fly's doing great. Picked up 2 new clients this week. So
Yeah.
I'm positive it's because of your show, too.
No, I don't know about that. Come on now.
No, but I did. So I've been busy, and I've got my high schooler has gotten 3 emails from school because he's been exposed to the Rona. So we're dealing with that, but he's doing okay.
I know it.
So yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm very sorry about your mom.
No,
too.
thank you. Thank you.
On real life.
What an amazing outpouring from this group. I mean, everybody has been just so fantastic. I am blessed because I can talk about it like I have with my mother. It's helped in the grieving process and knowing that amazing outpouring. I never feel alone. I never feel alone.
You know what? When I sent a note to Diana, I've only been around for a short time in following you, but I have access to the behind the scenes of those that have been with you for a very long time. And I have never in my whole life seen a group of people rally behind a family the way that your listeners do, and that is just it is amazing to me.
Well,
so
and you're part of that.
I feel lucky they bring me in. I'm like, I'm kind of a new person here, but it just warms my heart to see the minute something comes out of your mouth that they can sense hurts you. They are on it. They are behind the scenes, doing everything they can to. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They've set me up where basically I can just slide in here and do it, and they just handle the rest. And I can feel it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Good people.
Okay, so about this damn clip. I mean,
oh my gosh.
What's it like on your end? Because he's your guy. I mean, that's got to be. There's really no way to spin that, right? It's just a horrible gaffe.
Well, Zane, your audience is going to go crazy over this because you're going to be like, I told you, I am not voting for Joe Biden for any other reason except that he's like just kind of a nice, mellow, calm. I want to wake up in the morning, watch the Zane show. I don't want to watch. I mean, Trump just stresses me the F out every day. So that's why. I mean, and so when I see that, I'm like, oh, dude, you know what? He does need to go back into the basement for another week or so.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we'll see what happens, let the world settle down, and then he'll be surrounded by his peers if he wins.
Okay.
And I have a lot of faith in that. But yeah, that's bad when you don't even know, you know, who you're running against, that kind of stuff. That's not good.
Blue State Rob was very defensive and wrote, "Oh my God, it's so easy to follow." He was clearly talking about George Lopez, and the Republicans are making it seem like he's talking about George Bush, and I'm like, that isn't any better.
No, it really isn't, because and I love Blue State Rob, and I love the fact that he'll defend him. It just doesn't make any sense. And it might make more sense then to understand why Trump, you know, picks out like little special names for people like Sleepy Joe and, you know, all of the different little hands Marco Rubio, you know, because it might be one of his coping mechanisms of being able to remember names. I'm really bad at remembering names. But if he just would pick a name, then he could stick with it. But yeah, just out of the blue, like George, it's like, George what? George Washington? George Lopez? George who? George who? Who are you running against? It's George.
You know what? I would have. I think that clip might have been even better if Mrs. Biden like turned to him and said, "What are you doing? How could you possibly have just said what you said?" Because that's what wives do. You know, they always smack their husbands and say, "Hey, stupid, what are you doing?" You know.
Yeah. Yes, I do. And then, you know, they think that they do. Okay, so I was riding my bike and my trainer last week, and Obama was on, and he was stomping for Joe. And I was like, okay, so you know what? This is amazing, because this makes me feel better. You know, this is a calm dude. He's got his act together. You know, he's rallying the troops. But then you watch that, you turn around and you're like, okay, here's the guy that's running for president, and then that happens. It's so hard to defend.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, I mean, it's hard to defend Trump too. I feel sorry for you guys, because the guy's a total dick. But, you know, once you just decided that everybody's got, you know, the jerk in their life, and you defend that guy, and that's okay. But you can't really defend like that, the George thing. And I mean, that's just one of many gaffes.
Well,
he's probably tired, you know?
That's your guy. That's your guy.
I know. Well, you know that. The guy at the top is the thing, but I'm voting for balance down ticket completely, because I have to trust that somebody's going to know what they're doing. Hopefully.
All right. Let me ask you this too, because this has come up before. Can you give me the synopsis of the name Stella Fly? What is that? I mean, everybody knows it because we tell them what it is, but what exactly is that? What's the origin of the name?
Wow, somebody actually figured it out this week in a Facebook group.
Oh.
And the reason was he's a cyclist, and I said, you should come over and cycle for our team, Stella Fly. And he said, what is that name? I said, you could be a fly guy, because on the team we call guys are fly guys and girls are fly girls. So you probably can remember that term a little bit, the fly girls from the Solid Gold.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it was in Living Color.
Yes,
or
that's exactly
Solid Gold,
what it was. It was
okay, with the Fly
Color.
Girl dancers. Okay, so at the time I was living in Portland at the time. The internet just, Al Gore had just invented the internet, and then I had my own laptop, or not my laptop, a little, Mac. Just a little personal, one of their first ones. And I had it in my apartment. So it was my first home office.
Yeah.
And AOL came, and you plug in your modem, you put the little disc in, you had to install it, and you had to come up with the screen name. Nickname was Stella, and it kept putting numbers after the name. It was like, oh, you can be Stella 1, 2, 3, 4, Stella 6, 7, 9, 10. And I was like, I don't want to do numbers. But it was at the time of that Fly Girl phenomenon. So I combined those names back in 1990 or 91, and it's been Stella Fly ever since.
And you said someone figured it out in a Facebook group? How the hell do they figure it out? It was dude
is smart. What? I know. It's like I get asked that all the time. He goes, "That sounds like that show with the Fly Girls."
Oh, okay. So he figured out that part of it. He didn't figure out the Stella part.
He didn't know that my nickname was Stella. Gotcha. No, the guys used to yell Stella when I went to Flanagan's when I was underage. They'd yell it really loud to get the attention of the bartenders so they would know that somebody underage was coming into the bar.
There you go. That was you trying to sneak drinks, of course. Yeah, that now that definitely doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't.
All right.
No, it shouldn't.
Well, really good.
Yeah, thanks for the call. And I honestly, I think you should have a like a watch party on election night and get all of your viewers together in a watch party and have drinks as the results roll in. That might be something entertaining.
It definitely would be. I would do it over Zoom if I did, and that's I couldn't do it in person. I can't with clear conscience.
Oh no. Yeah.
But all right. Well, I tell you what, Laura, as always, I appreciate your support and love and help and all those nice things, and give my best to the family. And before long, we'll be racing again, hopefully.
Yeah, I can't wait. It sounds like you had a good trip around the tracks. What did you say? 7:30.
I was working 7:22 and 7:18. So
that's awesome. That's good.
You see, because I got to get in shape for the surgery, and then I got to get back. I mean, I'll be taking time off after the surgery, so you will. We'll see how that goes.
How long do you have to rest? Do they talk about that?
I can't run. I cannot run for 6 weeks. I can only walk. So that'll be a long time for me, and then we'll get back after it, and then hopefully. I don't know. Do you think there's going to be a 5th third in the spring?
I don't. Yeah. Really what needs to happen is the vaccine needs to come out, even if it doesn't work. And once people get it, they're going to feel safer to do things. But I really think we're like on that line right now where people that want to go out are going to go out, and people that because it's so close. I mean, I was reading on Reddit last night that Pfizer is starting to test on teenagers, and it should be rolling out about the 3rd week in November. And
gotcha.
So I really think that's going to make a big difference in people's confidence level.
All right, Miss. I appreciate you as always.
Yeah, you too. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, Laura. Thanks again.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Stella Fly Laura joining me on the show. She's awesome. Fantastic. I just love having her on. She's just good to talk to. She just keeps it moving. She crushes it every single time. She crushed it on our red state, blue state debate while Rob was sitting there getting bogged down in details. She was sitting there hammering it. Rob's probably never going to listen again after today. Rob, I love you. You know that. Dear Meathead in a second. First off, though, don't forget to consider me for Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. I want to do a cameo for you. Don't you know? Reach out and I can wish somebody a happy birthday. We can do, oh my God, there's so much more to that. You get a promotion at work, whatever it may be. Let me bust somebody's balls. It's a great time. And all the examples are there at cameo.com/Eric Zane. And I don't charge much. It's only like $15. Not bad at all. Okay. Let me see if I can get Dad in here. All right, hang on. This phone, I don't trust this. This is going to fall. Oh. All right. So my poverty setting. Hey, where are you? Johnny on the spot.
Good morning.
Hey, Dad, how are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Never better, Dad. We are 6 days away from the election.
Oh, my gosh. You're telling me? I actually be happy to see it over because I'm tired of listening to the same things over and over and over, bashing each other up.
Have any of the advertisements resonated with you? Like you see something for like Joe Biden and you're like, yeah, you know what? That actually makes sense. I think I like that.
I don't think I've heard anything he said that makes sense because I'm totally one-sided who I want to be the president, so I don't pay attention to things. I only pay attention to the person that I want to vote for.
Aha. Okay. All
so,
right.
Because I see this as bashing each other up all the time.
Joe Biden had years to do what he says he can do.
Yeah, like Joanne said, Joe Biden has had, for instance, in my opinion, years and years and years to do something that was worthwhile listening to, and nothing happened.
Okay.
So I believe that, again, I shouldn't talk about it on a open air to what my preferences are, but...
Whoa, what the hell? Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. I mean, if you want to say
I like what our current president has done, and his accomplishment has been good.
All right, Dad, I've got a number of questions here. Of course, Dear Meathead brought to you by JM Synthetics, online at jmsynthetics.com. The audience is so happy that you are with us once again. You and Joanne, we hear her. So let me start off with this. John has a question for you. He says, Dear Meathead, I threw my back out recently trying to fix the deck.
Ooh.
He says, my wife said, all right, you got to stop. But then she complains that the deck isn't done. I offered to hire someone to do it for us, but she says that would be a waste of money. What do I do? I'm hurting, but my wife wants me to fix the deck.
Well, a back situation is number one, is a time-consuming situation. For instance, you would have to give it a lot of time to heal. As far as getting the deck done, now how is the importance of it a number one priority? If it is, and it's irritating the wife, I guess you have to spend the money and have it done. If the wife has a patience of waiting till you heal, then you can do it. If you're a capable person to build or rebuild things, all right. Now, I personally, if I had injured my back, unless it's a 10-year situation that your back is not going to heal or it's a different matter. Yeah. But I think there should be some patience, exercise in there. And if you don't want to spend the money, which I wouldn't, I'm a repair person. I would repair my own situation in the house as much as I can, do it. But I honestly don't believe that there's such an urgency to repair the deck unless the death is a detriment to you.
Yeah, just leave it alone. I agree. I think just take it easy and just don't spend a penny on it and don't do it. Just let it go. I mean, that's the American way. You start something, then you finish it like 6 or 7 years later. I mean, hell, I still have leaves in the backyard from like 20 years ago.
Absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. So if the wife is a definite impatient person or is a detriment that she has to have it done, then hire it out. Spend the money and hire it out.
Dad, looking back on this whole exchange, I wrote down the line, a back situation is a time-consuming situation.
It is. It doesn't heal overnight.
All right. Let's see. Natasha writes this. Natasha in New York State. She says, I have a question for your dad. My fiance, James, and I will be getting married in July next summer, July of 21. I'm 28.
Congratulations.
She says, I'm 28 and he is 30. We've been together for 8 years, so it feels like we're already married. What advice?
That's right. I was just going to say, oh my God, yes.
She adds, what advice do you and Joanne have for us upcoming newlyweds? And then she says, it's an absolute joy to hear you and Joanne's voices each week. You make us smile. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Signed, Natasha.
Natasha, I want to congratulate you on the decision that you both have made to be married couple. But that's been a long time you guys have known each other, and it's a miracle that you guys haven't broken up. I mean, this doesn't happen.
For 40 years.
No, I'm talking about before the marriage. No. That's not what I meant. You have not been married for 8 years.
Yeah.
Is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it's okay, Dad. I think I know what you meant.
But my wife really threw me off of my track.
Oh, that's okay. Well, just take a deep breath there. That's what Joe Biden does, and then.
What now? Do they want to know what do I think? Would you tell me what is it that they wanted to hear?
Dad.
My view?
Yeah. Well, Natasha wanted if you had any advice that you have for like upcoming newlyweds. Maybe just a little morsel or tidbit, a sentence or two about. I mean, you've been married.
Yeah. Okay.
You've been married.
I get it. Now here's the thing. First of all, you have been together for so long, you must know each other real well.
Yeah.
You know what you like, what you don't like, what the couples, what gets you upset, what it does, makes you laugh. You know that all of those things. But the greatest thing that I have for a couple that are married now, including myself, I say things and I don't exercise it. Patience is the greatest virtue in any married couple's life.
Amen.
You've got to have patience with each other. However, if something comes up that is, for instance, one of you decided to do something that the other one is unaware of it, present it to them in a very intelligent way that, hey, I would like to have this particular thing done. Or your personality sucks at this point, not in those virtues. Maybe you ought to make a adjustment on that, But kind feeling is a good thing. Talk to each other kindly. Now, I quite often I do this myself. I'm preaching something and I don't practice it sometimes. That's not a good thing. We have to have patience with each other. Patience. So often enough, a wife will make a comment, I would like to do that. Now, for instance, if you're going to make changes in your home or a building type of a thing, it's not that I'm talking about. Patience of personalities. Because we all have personalities. We can't give up that personality of ours to suit the other person's personality. You should accept the things that your wife tells you that it's in her mind and you would like to have a change made in that. So the patience is a virtue is the greatest thing that I think should be exercised in a marriage.
I think that's true, Dad. That's a great point.
Because a guy is a jerk sometimes. I consider myself a jerk sometimes because she'll say something oh no, we're not going to be doing that. I don't even listen to what she says.
Okay, let me write that down. A guy is a jerk sometimes.
Yes, because of not wanting to listen to what the wife has to say.
I see. Absolutely.
So allow her to say what she wants to say, and think about it before you give an answer to whether or not that's a good thing.
Okay. Yeah, I can totally see that. From my own perspective, Natasha, she said, Eric, go ahead and add your 2 cents too. The only thing I would suggest is it's described as staying in each other's orbits, like the things that you do, the things that he does. Over time, couples tend to their orbits don't intersect. Like all of a sudden he's golfing 3 days a week or he's doing something that's not with you.
Absolutely, that's true.
Don't drift too far apart. Let those orbits intersect, like with your friends, the things you do, the things he does. The second that you are further and further from each other's lives, and he's doing his own thing, then you're more like roommates, and that's when trouble starts. So That's taken from my own experience. So
Well put.
I think
Well put, son.
I want to go back and the quote, it's a miracle you haven't broken up. And
you and Joanna and I?
No, that's what you said when you were talking about Natasha.
Oh, absolutely.
And then there was, your personality sucks. You got to make an adjustment.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on here. This is Alan. He writes, Dear Meathead, Eric has been podcasting for over 2 years, or pretty much close to 2 years now since his last radio job. What did you think when Eric explained what a podcast was and what he wanted to do? How did you think that was going to go?
Well, to tell you the truth, I still don't know what a podcast is. It's a word that I use. I don't even know what it does. But however, Eric's doing a fantastic job. Not because he's my son, but this guy can talk, make sense, and just makes everything. He does things that I have never believed in existing in the world.
Yeah.
But he does it, and he accomplishes it well.
Okay. That is...
I'm proud of him. I really am. Not because he's my son, but the guy can put things together verbally, mechanically, and he'll do it. He's done things that I was amazed. I couldn't even fathom to think that I could have done that. I never thought about those things. So I'm not giving him this compliments because he's my son, but he is really a doer.
Thank you, Dad. I appreciate that.
And what the old story is, he doesn't let hair grow on the bottom of his feet.
No, I think that's moss, Dad. I think it's...
Oh, this is hair for me.
Okay. That's how I don't think they say, boy, he's always moving. He never lets hair grow under his feet. I think they say no moss grows under your feet.
No, hair don't grow under your feet.
Right. Great. So, all right, and just to be clear, the only thing a podcast is communicating over the internet, whether it be like those videos you see online.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is going out live on like Facebook. And
well, then why can't we say communicating over the air?
Well,
instead
because
of podcasting?
Over the air is like what is like the radio. You turn on the radio and then the frequency hits the radio. It's
okay. I taught some education.
Yeah. And then the other thing about podcasting is this is then recorded.
I understood. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
okay.
It goes on a website and then people kind of are you familiar with the term download?
Yes.
They download it to like a phone or a computer and then they can listen to it, whenever they want.
Okay.
That's the only thing different.
It'll never come to do anything for me in my life, but okay.
Yes. Well, I mean, what's funny is you're on the other end of it. You're making what they're listening to. You're like making the content.
I understand that.
And then they listen, they like consume it based on what they're listening on. So that's basically it. All right.
I want to say something before we go any further about you and your audience.
Okay.
I tell you, these are the most fantastic people I've ever talked to in my life. They have decent questions, good questions, and they're seeking answers to better their own lives.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So
they always
that's wonderful. That really is wonderful that these people are doing such a great job of seeking help in the sense of opinions.
Well, that's very good of them to want to better their lives by asking you questions. I totally agree with you. And so they've been very helpful too. They've always been very supportive, as you know. We've all experienced that.
Oh, I'm proud of those people. I really am.
They're really, really great. Megan has a question, Dad, and she writes, Dear Meathead, I work with my dad every day, and I love it. If you and Eric work together, what do you think you'd be doing, and do you think you would fight, and who would be the boss?
Well, it's a loaded question, really. Father, for instance, always, unfortunately, thinks that he knows everything above what his son or daughter knows.
Aha.
That's really reality. And as of last several years, I have, up to a point, brought myself to a point of listening to the children, my children, that say things like you, for instance, and I analyze it before jumping the gun, and I really see what's positive, what's negative. Ordinarily, I don't see any negativity in there. My children are great. I mean, they just are great.
Yep. Thank you.
They should allow the fact that a father, for instance, or a mother, for instance, I have a granddaughter, 18 years old, and just about going to 19, that all of a sudden she's become a thinking person. Yet I used to think that she's just a teeny bopper, and
she's,
okay. Oh man, hey, she don't know nothing, but she does. She really knows things.
All of a sudden, she's become a thinking person. You say?
Yeah, thanks. That's right. Before, do you know what? Listen, if they have $12 in their pocket, they right out there and buy another skirt.
Thinking is
and
good.
And skirts,
yes.
For instance.
So she's
that's not happening anymore.
I love that.
The $12 that they earned, they're cherishing it, hanging on to it a little longer.
All right. Yeah, I like that. So I guess the short answer is you would have no problem working with me, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely not. Are you kidding? You have operated things that I had never understood how you even managed to do that.
What if what if you and I were working and building picture frames and I said, hey, you stay away from the saw?
Well, I would not stand away from the saw, probably.
Oops.
So, no, I listen nowadays. I mean, at this point in my life, now, if you're going 25, 30 years ago, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, you'd have been stubborn about it.
Yeah, but I picked things up. I learned the damages that I did to myself.
Yep.
They say life on a daily basis is a great friend to teach you and teach you about the do's and don'ts of life.
We're approaching 1 year since you've been injured, so that is really something. I think we should have a party on the 1 year anniversary of when your fingers were flying around.
I really don't want to even think about it because my fingers are really it's a reminder on a minute-to-minute basis to me.
Yeah, that was terrible, you poor guy. I would have started crying if I was there, but Joanne kept a level head. Thank God for her,
Well, so now I have an issue. For instance, one of the fingers that's quite a bit shorter than the other.
Yeah.
And it's got a nail growing on the side of it.
Yeah, I know. It's trying to come back.
So every time I trim that or grind it down, I start thinking, I hate my life.
Yeah, it's like regenerating. You're like the Swamp Thing. It's like
yes. Well, enough about me.
Spawn. Hey, Megan also adds, Meathead, what would you say to someone that you love who doesn't wash their hands after they poop to try to get them to start washing their hands?
Well, if I knew my wife that she knew that I didn't wash my hands.
Yeah.
And if I went in the bathroom, she'd probably walk behind me in the bathroom to see if I'm washing my hands.
But let's say Joanne goes number 2 and then she doesn't wash her hands. What would you say to her?
Well, ordinarily I wouldn't have said anything.
You wouldn't have said anything.
But I would, if I knew this is what's happening.
Yeah.
I would have simply, hey, did you wash your hands?
Okay.
What's wrong with asking a question? Or tell them if you don't want to jeopardize a relationship or so. Tell her that from now on, when you come out of the bathroom, I'm going to ask you this question.
It's terribly awkward. It's terrible. It's awful that you would have to do that in the first place.
Yeah, right. And then ask them.
Yeah. Wow.
Or go in the back of the door and listen to the water running.
And then you hear it and you got to tell them, God, it's
the worst. Hey, let me touch your hand, see if you wash the hand.
Oh, God. Man.
You know, but that's ridiculous. People should. We wash right now. We wash because of the diseases as much as every time I go in there.
I mean, seriously, that's it's just a good idea all the way around, you know.
But it's a good thing. I mean, there's germs involved everywhere.
Right, man.
So clean yourself up, my gosh. Whoever doesn't do it, I think everybody does that. But I know some people that even work in a different area of life as nothing but dirt.
Yes.
They don't wash. So, I don't know. It is what it is.
All right. Well, Dad, that's it, man. I had a ton of questions because the audience really responded in the past day. I'll save those for another day. Thank you to everybody who reached out with those questions. But all right. Yeah.
I want to make this comment. I cannot get over how wonderful your audiences are. I tell you, these are great people.
Oh, I know it. Yep.
I can't get over it. I have to keep reminding that I'm so lucky that I have the opportunity to talk with them.
I feel the same way. They do things for me like you wouldn't believe. I honestly think I can do this till the day I die because of them.
That's great, especially your sponsor. I really love that sponsor of yours.
That would be Jason. He has that JM Synthetics, of course.
Yes, I still use some of the things that he has.
Dad, you and Joanna the best. We appreciate you very much. Okay.
All right, I love you. I love your family, and I hope to God that everything will be over so we can see each other again.
Oh, I know it, Dad. It's really starting to drag, but hopefully it'll turn around. You know.
All right, honey, and you cheer up because you had issues that you went through. So
yep. You know,
God is great.
It's part of life. It's part of life.
Yes.
And we will see Mom again. And and when we all get up there, Dad, you and Mom and Joanne, you know, I'm just glad that you guys are cordial so that we don't make a big fuss when we get to heaven, you know?
Oh, I want a big cake when I get there.
Yeah, that would be really awkward, you know, but we're going to have a big party, you and all your wives.
Okay. All right. I love your comments.
Okay. I love you.
Love you too, and love your audience.
All right, Joanne. I'll see you. See you, Dad.
All right, love you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye. There you go. Another Rip Roaring edition of Dear Meathead brought to you by JM Synthetics. Oh, my gosh. Legendary performance. Woo. So much happening there. Thank you. Thank you for the questions. Man, that was something. And then the freaking microphone wiped out the phone. God, I hate when that happens. It sounds so good to have the phone jacked up to the mic like that, but you're right. It's so unnerving when that thing just wipes out. Oh, no. But thanks for the questions. I'll file the rest of those because we did get a lot of them. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. Oh, God. Okay. I talked to you in the tease about this. I didn't like this. So I've mentioned this before. There's an asteroid called Apophis, or Apophis. I'm sorry, I said that wrong the first time. Apophis. Apophis. Apophis is about the size. This is Celestial Excitement brought to you by MB Distributing. Excuse me. Apophis had I wouldn't say a near miss. Well, no, it kind of was. It flew in recently, and it was below our satellites. Not long ago, I remember talking about it on the show. It's about the size of the Empire State Building. If that thing hit, it would be a real shit show. And, astronomers are recalculating, and they're saying that in the year 2068, this Mount Everest size, this not that big. That was another one. This Empire State Building sized asteroid could hit the Earth. In fact, they're saying that it's a pretty good chance that there will be an impact in 2068. I will be 98 years old, and a lot of you will still be alive when that happens, if that happens. First of all, listen to this. Scientists know that 66 million years ago, an enormous asteroid hit. It was 14 kilometers long. about the size of Mount Everest. And, they were able to describe, based on research, what exactly happened when that took place. At that time, all the land in the world was in one spot, what was known as Pangea. It says when that happened, quote, the top of it might have still towered more than a mile above the Earth at a cruising speed of a 747 when it hit the Earth. So when it actually hit, the back end of it would be a mile up off of the planet. In its nearly instantaneous descent, it compressed the air below it so violently that it briefly became several times hotter than the surface of the sun, hitting the Earth with enough force to lift a mountain back into space at escape velocity, releasing the equivalent of 100 million megatons of dynamite, creating a 20-mile deep, 110-mile wide hole, and sterilizing the remaining 170 million square miles of the ancient continent of Pangea, killing virtually every species on Earth and oddly paving the way for the emergence of the human species. Created this primordial soup that has made you and me. Okay, think about that. 66 million years ago, that happened. Holy shit. It would have felt like the ground beneath your feet had become a ship in the middle of the ocean, says Earth and Space Science Professor Mark Richards at the University of Washington. Then rocks would have bombarded you from a boiling sky that was beginning to take on a hazy glow. It would have seemed like the end of the world. Well, it was, pretty much. The pressure of the atmosphere in front of the asteroid started to dig that crater before it even got there. You imagine seeing that? The thing's coming in, you're like, oh, shit. And the air being pushed down onto the solid surface of the planet starts digging the hole. Oh, my God. Geophysicist Mario Reboletto says, then when the meteorite hits ground zero, it's totally intact. It's so massive that the atmosphere doesn't even make a scratch on it. You know, as it is now, when we see shooting stars come in, that you see them because they're little specks burning up. You know, they get to the atmosphere, and the friction of the atmosphere causes, and that's what happened when you have meteorites that are as big as like a house. They like blow up when they hit the atmosphere, blowing out all the windows, knocking down trees, but they do blow up. This one's so huge that took out the planet back then, 66 million years ago, that it didn't even make a dent. Totally intact when it hits the ground. So massive that the atmosphere doesn't make a scratch on it. It would have been a pleasant day 1 second, and the world was over by the next, all within a second or two of impact. Fast forward, Earth, year 2068. New observations of asteroid Apophis, noteworthy because of its extremely close approach to the Earth. On Friday, April 13th, 2029. I think they mean 2020 because 2029 hasn't happened yet. That has to be a typo. Or maybe not. It says April 13th, 2029, when the 300-meter asteroid will become visible to the unaided eye as it passes within the belt of communications satellites orbiting the Earth. Obtained with the Subaru telescope earlier this year, revealed the effect of what's known as the Yarkovsky acceleration. Now, stay with me here. What they didn't take into account when they were looking at this asteroid is this thing known as the Yarkovsky acceleration, and that is it shows that the asteroid is drifting away from a purely gravitational orbit. So when something like this goes by, something like a planet, it changes the direction of the asteroid based on the pulling motion of gravity. But so they do all the math with that, and they go, okay, yeah, look, it's not going to hit the Earth anytime soon. It's good to go. Well, now they're saying that Apophis could very well hit because of this Yarkovsky acceleration. What that is it's drifting away from the gravitational orbit by about 170 meters per year. So as it's messing up the calculation, and that changes everything, which is enough to keep the 2068 impact scenario in play. So now, does that mean that in 2068 we'll have what I described for you, like what happened so many million years ago? Well, no, but still, this is a big asteroid. It isn't as big as the planet killer mountain that smashed into the Earth that ended life as everything knew it way back then. But that's still pretty damn big, which is would cause a ton of problems. Oh my God. All asteroids need to re-radiate as heat the energy they absorb from sunlight in order to maintain thermal equilibrium. That's all over my head. Prior to the detection of Yarkovsky acceleration on Apophis, astronomers had concluded that a potential impact was impossible. The detection of Yarkovsky on Apophis means it's still a possibility. Well, give me a fucking number, man. Tell me. We have known for some time that an impact with Earth is not possible during the 2029 close approach that's coming, said the astronomer who has been accurately tracking the motion of Apophis since 2004 when it was discovered. Further observations to refine the amplitude of the Yarkovsky effect and how it affects Apophis orbit are underway. Astronomers will know well before 2068 if there is any chance of impact. So what this means is there might be a time coming up when you see there is a press conference and they say, all right, in 20 years, there is an unavoidable impact that will happen to the planet Earth. Holy shit. That would be, and then you're like, well, where does it hit? Will we know? And then they say, well, it's going to hit here. So everybody gets the fuck out of the way. Cause I don't know if they'd be able to tell that because then I guess you could, okay, if they can get everybody out of wherever, let's say it's Colombia, that place is a shithole to begin with. Get everybody out of Colombia, send them somewhere else in South America, and then have at it. Just watch the fireworks show. That would be absolutely incredible. I would be 98 years old if that happened. Some of you, hey, I'll update you on the podcast whether or not this is going to happen. Holy shit, can you imagine? It's frankly a miracle that it hasn't happened already. That is, there's all sorts of things that can end life as we know it. Caldera, Yellowstone, you know that. Asteroid hitting the planet, pandemic. Fuck. I think I'd rather have asteroid than pandemic, seriously. Nah, because pandemic you can avoid. You can, well, not here in the U.S. Nobody does that anymore. All right. So there's an asteroid that's zooming in. I'll update you when I find out more. F-45 training, Byron Center. There's no reason why you can't be in shape when the asteroid hits the planet. I hope that I don't ever say that. F45training.com/Byron Center to go get a free 1-week trial at that great establishment. They are at half capacity right now, 50% and socially distant and cleaning the hell out of that place. If you want to work out and get in shape, please consider F45training.com/Byron Center. They're right where the family fair is in the community of Byron Center, Michigan. And just go try it out. Tell them what you think. And if you like it, sign up. You'll work for 45 minutes. You got workouts all day long. You can work out on the weekend. It is group training with a personal touch. F45training.com/Byron Center. More information on that website. You can sign up for the free trial. Thank you. They bring you my YouTube channel. Excuse me. Hang on. I clear my throat. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Mario sponsors my Instagram, where we will have Instagram instant trivia tonight. That is a Mike Ball MB distributing joint. That is on my Instagram. I want to see you there. You can win a crisp new $10 bill on my Instagram for Instagram Instant Trivia. But back to Mario, he brings that to you. If you're thinking about a mortgage, if you're paying rent, you're like, man, this is terrible. Why am I paying this slumlord rent? Yeah, I know. Get out of that and get a mortgage. I can't get a mortgage, Zane. You don't know that. It's a great time to get a mortgage and let Mario work his magic, okay? And he can determine whether or not you can get a mortgage. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I want you to reach out to Mario. Call him at his desk, 231-332-6505. He get anybody a mortgage, whether it be someone, if you're looking for $1 million mortgage or just your first mortgage. He works with everybody. Not everybody does that. Some of these folks that do mortgages, like, I don't want to deal with people that are getting a first-time mortgage because there's not enough in it for me. And, that's fine. I understand that, but somebody's got to do that work, and Mario is the best at it. So make sure you call upon him for you first-timers. Okay, the World Series went down yesterday. In fact, I should get Mike Ball on the phone in a second here. Reach out to him about this story about Justin Turner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that dude's a beast, Justin Turner. A fantastic player for the Dodgers. And, so the Dodgers win the game yesterday to beat the Rays in the World Series. First time since 1988. And the season ends with a game where, Dodgers third baseman Justin Turner, it's late in the game, and all of a sudden, this dude is not on the field. What happened to Justin Turner? Did he get hurt? What's going on? They pulled him out of the game because right then they found out that he's got COVID. So I'm a little blurry on the details here. I don't know if it was every player gets tested all the time or if he had symptoms. I don't think he had symptoms. In fact, I know he didn't because he said that they made a point to say he's asymptomatic. So if it ended there, if they're like, holy shit, this guy's got COVID, get him off the field, that's absolutely appropriate. And that's, you're doing the right thing there. So Turner comes off the field, and then the Dodgers win. And then the next thing you know, Justin Turner is out on the field, like hugging players, high-fiving them, holding the trophy over his head. What? What are you doing? This is a prime example of why the U.S. is so fucking rich in COVID-19. Even when you have it, even when you were just told 1 hour ago, 1 hour prior, you have COVID-19, not someone who had COVID-19, you actually have COVID-19. This fuck, I don't give a fuck if you just saw Jesus. You can't come out. You can't hang with Jesus if he's right there if you have COVID-19. Fuck you. This asshole goes out on the field and is celebrating with the team. Now the whole fucking team's got it, right? This is so stupid. That is very unsettling to me. So Justin Turner is out on the field doing his thing, having a great old time. Look at, here he is in a picture, taking a picture with all of his now COVID-19 positive teammates. This is another example of how we just don't take this seriously in the U.S. We are so wrapped up in ourselves and all of the things that we enjoy outside of COVID that we're just not taking care of it. This is a microcosm of a reality of our existence today. That's why this isn't going away, because there's so many stupid people in the world like this guy, Justin Turner, that who knows when this will go away. The man behind MB Distributing is my pal, Mike Ball. He's probably, I don't even know if he's up, if he's even stocking the shelves.
Yo.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
I'm podcasting right now. You're probably stocking shelves right now, right?
I am actually.
What store?
Jenison Meyer.
Oh yeah, man. They've been killing the Little Debbie over there.
That's a good thing.
Are those pumpkin spice roll-ups still a big seller?
They are.
So
it's a good week for all that fall stuff.
All right. Well, as you do your thing with MB Distributing, I know that your Dodgers won the game yesterday. You must have been overjoyed with that.
Yes. Still a big smile on my face.
I can understand that. You've been a Dodgers fan for so long. How did you become a Dodgers fan?
Fernando Valenzuela, 1981. I was 6 years old. Used to always watch SportsCenter and just kind of the whole Fernando mania. Kind of got hooked at a young age.
That was huge. That guy was lights out, and he would always look up when he pitched, when he would throw the ball. It was unbelievable.
Yep.
Is he still alive today?
Yep. He's actually a Spanish broadcaster for him.
Oh, okay. All right. So the game goes down. The Dodgers win it. And what about the story? In my mind, this gigantic story about Justin Turner comes off of the field because he's diagnosed with COVID.
Yeah, I was watching, and the Dodgers were up to bat, and Dave Roberts, the manager, kind of yelled across the dugout, and they caught the sound of it to Edwin Rios, who ended up coming in and playing third base. They said, "Get ready." And all of a sudden, they came back from break when they went out on the field, and here's Rios at third base, and Joe Buck's like, we don't know what's going on, but just Turner's not in there. And then during the celebration, it kind of broke that he tested positive, and
well,
later in the night,
why did they even take him out? It's because
it's going to come back as a false positive because they've been in the bubble for 3 weeks. Their family's been with them. I mean, they've had the hotel they're staying in. The employees of the hotel are in this bubble. Like, there has been zero contact.
All right, but the reason why I ask why did they even take him out? Because he ran on the field and he's like taking pictures with everybody. Yeah. He didn't give a fuck. They took
him out. And he came back out for the celebration about 20 minutes after the presentation of the trophies and all that. So,
but what if he has it? That's bullshit. That he's out there. You know,
it's like my son runs cross country in high school, and they were going to a meet a week ago, and they pulled a kid off the bus.
Yeah,
and said, "You've been exposed. You can't run anymore.
Yeah,
you're out of school for 2 weeks."
You make that fucker walk home.
But at this point, you've already been around everybody. If you had it, it's, I don't know. It's what we're living with in this world.
God, today, dude, I'll be so happy when this is done. Oh shit.
You and me both.
All right. Well, congrats to you. You're a diehard Dodger fan. Did you weep when they won?
I busted out the bottle of champagne I bought 4 years ago, and me and Evan had a little celebration out on the deck.
Oh my God! So your son loves him too, huh?
Oh yeah,
that's fantastic. All right, Mike Ball again. You're a saint. Thanks for your continued support.
All
right, buddy. I'll talk to you. Yeah, man. If he goes get back to being a dumbass. I don't know. I think Turner's if it does turn out that he's positive. I mean, Mike says it's a false positive. What the fuck does he know? All he knows is stocking shelves of snack cakes. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Get out of the game, Turner. All right, yeah, I'm getting out of the game. All right, here I come back on the field. Holy shit. Okay, I need to update you on a story that we talked about Monday and Tuesday. That was the wrestler dude who, God, I wonder if I even have that clip. Doesn't matter. It's all just music. It was backyard wrestling guy. Is on the rope there, like a foot and a half off the ground. And he jumps down, getting ready to start the match, and when his legs impact the ground, both legs broke in half. It was an incredible video. I retweeted it. I posted it after I saw it, and it kind of took hold in the world. As you know, I've talked many, many times about muppety, crackety, crunchety leg breaks. And it's kind of like become a thing on the show. But when they're nameless and faceless and stupid, then it's one thing. But when you actually put a person behind the compound fractures of whatever. God dang it, it changes everything. So now I'm completely off of the bandwagon for that and wanting to help a guy named Justin. Somebody on Twitter, thank you, suggested I talk about this. And I now feel terrible about ever laughing about this guy's broken legs. Excuse me. GoFundMe features this. A young lady by the name of Ashley organized the fundraiser. This is all I know. It's taken directly from the GoFundraiser or the GoFundMe fundraiser. You are someone you know, an absolute free spirit, the life of the party and ready for whatever. Well, that is our Justin. He was genuinely just having a good time when both of his legs were severely broken. Oh, God. Justin was invited to participate in a live amateur wrestling event this past weekend hosted by his good friends when the performance was abruptly stopped. During his entrance, Justin jumped and spun from the second rope of the ring and went to his feet, hit the base of the structure. His knees bent backwards and both legs snapped. Oh, my God. Since his injuries, Justin has had 3 surgeries with rods and pins put in his left leg, with an additional surgery scheduled this week. Physicians are working hard to determine if amputation will be necessary. He'll ultimately be faced with a long road to recovery, starting with a 2-week minimum hospital stay. His son, and on the GoFundMe, it's got him next to his little boy, and it's just, shit. You're not supposed to put a face to these muppety, flippity leg breaks, and yet here we are. His son, fiance, family, and friends are asking for donations in support of his medical expenses, as Justin does not have insurance. Oh, my God. Yes, $200,000 seems incredibly steep for this GoFundMe. However, the hospital stay, numerous surgeries, medical equipment, the countless months of physical therapy ahead, and even handicapping his home will far exceed this request. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hell, I just told you on the show earlier about my daughter's stupid ACL reconstruction was $49,000. Imagine this. This guy's fucking legs fell off. Here's where it gets really bad. If it wasn't bad enough, though the internet has been a mixed bag of concern and distasteful cruelty, it might as well say right there, that sentence should say, even though Eric Zane has made this a focus of comedy on his stupid podcast, Justin has remained lighthearted in his situation. However, no amount of money will cover the emotional damage he will continue to endure through the aftermath of this horrible accident. So any offerings would help. Justin has been through so much physically in the last few days, on top of a recent custody battle and losing his father this past Christmas. Oh, my God, this poor dude. He will sincerely appreciate any contributions to alleviate this unfortunate financial burden. At very minimum, we simply ask you to pray for Justin. Okay, so this thing was started, looks like 24 hours ago. And when I went to bed, it was at about $5,000. It's at $8,425. Yeah, it's going, but it needs a takeoff. It needs to blow up, in my opinion. So let me just tell you this. You know that money you guys gave me? I'll be sending money for damn sure for Justin. And I'm asking you to do the same thing. I'll link it up in the comments of this podcast, and I'll put it in the news. And I reached out to this Ashley. I want to talk to her, too. My God. The comments. Yeah, someone said, I will keep, since I laughed at this for half an hour, I will keep giving money every day until the goal is met. And yeah, and I definitely fell into that. as I'm sure a lot of people did. That's how it goes. Shit. We don't ever consider that actually there is someone in the world who actually did this. In our brains, we're convinced that this was just something that is not real. The internet makes it absolutely not real. And it sure is. Poor Justin here. He's got 2 broken sticks. So hopefully this will help. I just feel terrible about this, man. A poor guy. Damn it. It kind of really puts a damper on the whole Muppety Flippity. I mean, if I can ever talk to the guy, I would say, well, at least you're in first place. You're number 1 with a bullet. Hell, in my mind, he beat the weightlifter, and he even beat the fat ass kid on the skateboard after his ankle folded in half. Holy shit. Get well soon, Justin. I'll keep you updated. Okay, I can't wait to tell you about the story from my past. Why did I go to jail? Kevin and Muskegon wanted to know that. I'll get to that in a second. We are going to have a TC Paintball War number 11. I think Rick's thought it was number 12 at first, but I'm pretty sure it is Paintball War number 11. And I see Blue State Rob is in attendance now. I'll have to get him on the phone too. So Rob, stay put. You got murdered earlier badly. It was horrible. Oh, God. Unbelievable. So Paintball War number 11 is going to be the day before Thanksgiving. We don't have the time set just yet. We're calling it Paintball War number 11, the Kidney Offensive. This is my last paintball war prior to donating the kidney. So there you go. And, right away, I'm like, hey, Zane, what do you mean? I thought you wanted to lay low with COVID. Yeah, it's true. Thankfully, though, there is so much room at TC Paintball. I'm not going near any of you. I'll be like waving at you from 15 feet away, all masked up. And then when I'm playing paintball, masked up with my regular mask and my playing mask, I'm going to do everything I can to stay away from you. So don't worry about me. The event will still go on. The day before Christmas, this is a daytime event. More details about Paintball War number 11, the Kidney Offensive. And as usual, I'm going to make the Facebook invite, and I'm also going to ask you to email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com, about your attendance so that we can get a head count. And do consider hanging out with my friends at TC Paintball this weekend for your bachelor party, for whatever. Just getting the neighborhood kids together or your gang from work, team building. TCPaintballGR.com. You are the best. But that's paintball guns. How about real guns? BK Guns and Stuff. If you need to get your weaponry fixed, call upon them. BK Guns and Stuff, 616-902-2447. For BK Guns and Stuff, the gunsmith for the Eric Zane Show podcast, and they can fix weaponry from anywhere in the United States. Just call Benjamin and ask him how you're supposed to get the gun to him, and he'll take care of everything, whether it be a customization, restoration, cleaning, upgrade, you name it. They do it all at BK Guns and Stuff. Hey, Siri, call Blue State Rob on speaker.
Calling Mike State. Mobile on speaker.
No, that's not right. I'm calling Mike Ball again. Hang on. Blue. Oh, I said Blue State Rob, but it's Rob Blue State. He is Blue State Rob.
Ha ha! Yeah.
Yay, man! I love it, man. Yeah. Hey, we had Stella Fly Laura, one of your teammates in the Red State Blue State debate, on earlier on the show, and I we were talking about that clip from the fundraiser on Sunday where Biden said George, 4 more years of George.
Yeah, he totally screwed that up.
Well, she was like, I don't know. It was awful. It was terrible. And then, but when I had you on yesterday, we were communicating. You were your panties were so wadded up over that, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
I was pissed because you missed the mark on the joke, not because you were going after Biden.
You made a joke?
The whole thing was a joke about the intention of the whole thing was, hey, I bet Craig is like, oh my God, I didn't probably beating his meat to the damn story because it's like, he made a gaffe.
Well, yeah, he was. That's not a joke. I'm sure he was beating his meat to that.
That's why I'm like, hey, Zane, hey, Zane. Yeah,
so
he's probably Joe Biden said something he shouldn't have said.
Well, yeah, but you sent me links of the like on Fox News saying that Biden said George Bush.
The other part of it, this is just bad on my part. I didn't. Well, yeah, really clear up that I can debunk anything that he says.
Your opening salvo was that no it wasn't. He was talking about George Lopez, and I was like, well, that doesn't make it.
But I think that's what.
Well, how do you? First of all, how do you know? How do you know he was saying George?
It seems the context to me said, oh, he's talking to George Lopez. I mean, he is ahead in his thought, so he's going to say, well, look, George, here's the deal, or some bullshit like that. Dude. And then
okay, but the bigger issue is there something wrong? Are you comfortable with the guy who says we can't have 4 more years of insert name of person who's in front of him?
Well, no, but here's the other. But look at it this way. That's not the point. The point of it is Trump is lying through his teeth every time he has a rally. He's lying to everybody. Right about now, he completely lied about what he knew about COVID. Yeah, and he's it for himself. That's what I am. Like I said, I'm not thrilled about Biden either. But you know what? He's more centrist. And
what
Trump
about
just
do you think that if someone held up that meme of that gigantic black dick porn star, do you think Biden would have said 4 more years of big black cock?
I think I'm trying to think what would have been said back in his day when like what was a slang term for penis back in the day that he would use? He would have been like, "That's a big black. Hey man, that's a big black." I don't even know. I can't even pecker. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not too young for that.
Well, we're getting close to the finish line, so it'll all be over soon enough.
Yeah, it'll be close.
If Trump wins, do you think there will be unrest?
Maybe. It'll probably be some.
I think
kind of like what you see with the protesting.
I think there will be. Well, I'll tell you what. I think there will be unrest. No matter who wins, wins, there will be unrest, and I'm very, very, very concerned about that.
It'll either be rainbow flags or it will be what the hell are they? Whatever the Proud Boys use. And If it comes to unrest, I want unrest from the rainbow flags. I think that's a more fashionable type of unrest. You know? Yeah, I mean they should just. I don't know, because none of them own guns, so it's sort of they're all about gun control, so they'll probably all just, walk out of there with their floppers and, I don't know, long nips.
Yeah, that's a real stretch for you. It sounds like you tried to do a joke, and then it just kind of fell apart on you midway through while you were saying it, but that's okay.
It's okay, whatever. I mean, this is a conversation that I know Kenny would never want to listen to because it's about politics. That's
man, that's it. I'm out. I'm out, man. Fuck you guys.
To defend him, it's politics is such a dry subject.
Terrible.
God damn it.
I like talking about it because I try to do my best to make it somewhat entertaining, and all I got to do is play clips of Biden saying that he doesn't want 4 more years of George Washington.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Have a good one. Yep.
Love you.
Okay, love you too. All right, there you go. Blue State Rob. There's Blue State Rob. My mom's a traffic reporter for WFLA. Thank you, Blue State Rob. Zaniac Kevin in Muskegon.
The clip of the day
has he saw my mugshot, which, boy, 17-year-old Eric actually doesn't look anything like me. I mean, my face has changed so much. Yeah, it was really weird to see that. I look like kind of like a special needs version of Ralph Macchio is what I look like in that mugshot. And if you haven't seen it, I will link it up in the show notes and put it on in the news of ericzaneshow.com. Why did I go to jail? Okay. Well, in fact, the guy who I'm giving the kidney to, he was involved in this. We were on separate teams for the scavenger hunt. And as school was, the school week was going on, it was like, hey, we're having a scavenger hunt. You pay a certain amount of money. You're given a list of things to obtain in a 3-hour window of time. Then we see who got the most. Winner take all. Well, we got it all. We got everything on the list. And the first part of the list was all silly things that you had to get, and not a problem obtaining them. Okay. And then the second list, the second page was all things like a fire extinguisher and stolen from, and we actually stole one. I'm not making this up, from an old folks home. We went into an old folks home and stole a fire extinguisher. My God. We stole a gigantic frog statue from from someone's residence. Somebody on their basketball hoop, we grabbed the hoop and ripped the hoop off the backboard, like we did a monster dunk, but we just grabbed it and hung on it and it broke. That was something that you got points for. You got extra points for a stop sign. Seriously? We stole a stop sign. We had tools, and we parked the car next to the stop sign and very quickly unbolted it and took the stop sign off of the upright. Street sign. We stole speed limit signs. Oh, my God. It was all sorts of horrible things that we stole that you shouldn't have done that. So then we take all the shit. It's in the trunk of my Catalina, and I'm the driver. Me and 3 other dudes. It was me, a guy named Gary, a guy named Kirk, and Stefan. So Stefan Stefanowski, Kirk Matlock, Gary Niedick. I think that's who, and me. And boy, we're just crushing it. We get to this one house in this. We get to Tammy Tellier's house, and Tammy Tellier is the type of chick whose mom is one of those cool moms who lets all the kids drink at her house. And shit like that, and so that's where we're gonna go. And she's probably half in the bag, mom looking for young dick or something like that, whatever. And we all show up, all these cars of kids. So I remember thinking, boy, this is a pretty active scene here. I wouldn't be surprised if the neighbors are getting pissed, and they were, because they called the cops. And while this is all going on, I've got my trunk open, and I'm standing next to the class president. His name's Andy Dunn. And Dunn and I are going over the list. He goes, okay, you got the fire extinguisher, you got that. Okay, check. You got the stop sign, check. Okay, boy, you're doing great. And then all of a sudden, it's pitch black out, and we start seeing red and blue. It's cops everywhere from all these different streets showing up. They're going to break up the party. They have no idea what they're getting into. They just think it's a regular party. Every kid runs in the house, including Dunn. He goes, fuck, pigs, let's get out. He takes off. Stefan, Gary, and Kirk Matlock, they all go inside Tellier's house when it's time to start drinking, right? They're all in the home. I am the last kid out. And the reason why is because my trunk is so full of shit, I can't close it. So I'm pushing and pushing on this big, giant trunk. And the cops are casually walking towards me like, oh, we got the guy. And I finally get it closed, and I start to walk quickly to the house, and I hear, stop. Oh, fuck. Open the trunk. All right, man. Open up the trunk. And right on top, staring them in the face, is a stop sign. And so they realize they've got a problem on their hands, and this is a big deal. And they put 2 and 2 together. They figure out what's happening. And he goes, all right, well, you're under arrest. So I put my hands behind my back, and he puts the cuffs on me, and he starts taking me to the police car. And this is kind of a different era. So, this next thing happened exactly as I'm describing it to you. And I remember the cop's name. His name was Officer Knobloch. Remember the baseball player Chuck Knobloch? Same name as that. And I actually have followed up on this guy over the years. I think he finally retired as a cop. But he was a young cop then. Warren police officer Knobloch. Knoblauch, I think. I know Pellerito will probably look him up. He's leading me back to his cop car, his 1988 Caprice Classic. And I've got my Coca-Cola sweatshirt on and my pegged acid wash pants on and my Chuck Taylors. And I'm getting ready to get in the cop car. He goes, "Yep, you're going to jail." And I remember what I said. I said, "Well, what about everybody else? They're going to go to jail too, right?" He did not like that. And he, with an open hand, I made a closed fist, but it wasn't a closed fist. With an open hand, hit me right in the fucking face, man. Bam! And I'm like, oof. Oh, shit. Well, here we go. Fucking Black Lives Matter, son of a bitch. Throws me in the back of the car, and I can feel my lips swelling. And then I realized that the inside of my lip is actually in the braces. So you ever get like you eat chicken or something or a hamburger and you get like meat in the braces? There's meat in the braces, but it's interior lip meat from when this guy smacked me in the face. So I can't touch my lip to push my I can't touch my mouth to get my lip out of the braces. But I use my tongue to like push my lip forward, and it rips the lip meat's in the braces. So it rips the interior of my lip meat, and it starts to bleed all on my fucking face. And I'm like, oh shit, this is fucking terrible. So then I'm just sitting there watching it all unfold, and it takes a long time. I was there for quite a while in the car. And my buddy Kyle and Matt come walking up. They didn't do the part. They didn't participate in the scavenger hunt, but these are my very, very close friends. And they come walking by, and I go, hey, fucker. And they look inside. They go, holy shit. And now at this point, I'm getting excited because I know this is a very good thing. I was not a popular kid, but I know this is going to get me so much puss, okay? Because it's all about gamesmanship of popularity. And I know I got it made, man. Chicks are going to I'm going to have so much tail for the back half of the school year. I know this. And I did. You wouldn't believe it, man. And so they go, what are you doing? I go, dude, I got popped for this fucking thing. I'm like a gangster. And that's all we would do back then was listen to rap music. Run DMC, KRS-One, LL Cool J, Public Enemy. Public Enemy was the best because they were all anti-establishment. We're like, yeah, man, fuck the police. And here I am on the back of a cop car. I felt so fucking cool. I was like, this is what Eazy-E's been through, man. I love this. I got the shit. I got smacked in the face by a cop, man. Fuck those pigs. Yeah. Black power, BLM. So there I am in the back of this car, and he's laughing his ass off. Kyle and Matt are cracking up, and they don't know what to do. So they kind of like they're in no man's land. All the cops are there inside of the house trying to sort this thing out. Shit, it was a nightmare. So then this cop, it was two of them, the one who slugged me and the other one get in the car, and they go, all right. They start asking me questions, and I go, and I was smart enough to not say shit. And I go, I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to say a word. I'm not saying a thing. And they go, you're not talking? I go, no, I'm just going to sit here and let this. I can't believe I had the foresight to not say shit. Now, all that, while that is all going on, it dawns on me that no one has read me my Miranda rights. Problem 2. So I'm filing this in my brain. I got slugged, and I haven't been read my rights, and I haven't said anything. So I'm making all good decisions at this point. This is the first good decision I've made throughout this course of this event. We go to the police station, take me to jail. I'm sitting there in a drunk tank with drunks waiting. All right, time to get fingerprinted, mugshot, all that happens. Do you want to call anybody? You want to call your mom or your dad? And I said, no, I don't want to call either of them. Who do you want to call? And I said, my lawyer. And they said, oh, you have a lawyer? And I go, well, yeah, I have a lawyer. His kid was in the scavenger hunt, so I'm going to call him. Oh, so I called the Lighthousers. And so I don't remember talking to anybody, but the next thing I know, I wake up the next morning and they're opening the cell door and they go, your lawyer's here. And I go, oh, good. So this has worked out exactly as I wanted it to at this point. And sure enough, there's Mr. Lighthouser, and he picks me up from jail and he goes, okay, your mom found out Mr. Lighthouser lives a few streets over in the neighborhood. His son was involved he helped organize the damn thing. So then I go home, mom's flipping out, dad's flipping out, everybody's having a temper tantrum. That at the end of the world, my son's a felon. I was charged with receiving and concealing stolen property over $1,000. That is a felony in the state of Michigan. So this is on Saturday now. This all happened on Friday. This is Saturday. On Monday, I have to be arraigned in front of the judge for this felony charge. This is actually quite serious. So I didn't know what to think at this point. Felony on your record is not that it's not good. You definitely don't want that. While this is all gone on, a couple other things of magnitude influenced it. First of all, Mr. Lighthouser is the lawyer representing, and so he's working his magic. It turns out that there's a kid named Scott Ingalls. His dad was the chief of police. Okay, and so the chief of police's kid is involved in this. It's at this point that the city realizes that they have a real issue on their hands. It's a bad look to have this scavenger hunt and then all of this. And then I reveal to Mr. Lighthouser, I go, hey, I got hit. Here's what happened. My lips all swollen. He takes a picture of that. I go, I wasn't read my Miranda rights. And so then he goes, okay, thanks. Good to know. He works his magic. And then, Sunday happens. And then Monday, I don't go to school. I go to get arraigned. 9 a.m., I have to be in front of a judge. So I go there. There's my mom. She's all pissed off. There's my dad. They all hate me. And Mr. Lighthouser, we're all sitting there. And Mr. Lighthouser goes, I think this is going to work out. What do you mean? Well, I just have a feeling. We don't know, but he's worked his magic. I'm walking into the courtroom, and this Detective Pickler was his name. He stops me, and he goes, stop. This isn't happening. Last minute, everything is going away. There is going to be there's some ramifications for what you've done, but essentially, this is not going to see the light of day. And everything is going to be dropped, and you are going to go to every single place where you stole something from, return what you stole, and then your record is going to be expunged. It didn't happen. I'd never heard of that term. I go, what does that mean? They go, well, it never happened in time. And so once you satisfy these stipulations, you then get your original fingerprints, your original negatives of the mugshot, and then there's nothing. It never happened. I go, well, fuck yes. I'm super popular now, and I got this. Let's fucking rock and roll. He goes, let's go now, return this shit. So I get in the cop car with the detective. My mom and dad are like, smell you later. My folks had only been broken up like 10 years at this point. My mom was still massively in love with my dad, probably. In fact, I know she was. And she's probably like, come on, Ruben, one more time for old time's sake. Holy shit. So they go their separate ways. They're still bummed out, freaking out. I'm like, don't worry. Hey, man, this is wash, rinse, repeat for me. This is a precursor of things to come with me. From this day forward, I will always land on my feet. Trust me on this. This is never going to go away. This is just going to be the same scenario from now to the end of time. I'm going to get in a deep ton of a whole shit ton of trouble, and then I'm going to work my way out of it. Don't worry. Get in the cop car. Go to the old folks' home. give them back their fire hydrant, go to the guys, I'm giving his frog statue. I actually had to go and give the, what do you call it? Basketball hoop to the guy, which was crazy. We should have had to pay to have it repaired. We didn't. We just gave him the hoop back. And then, what the fuck am I going to do with this, you asshole? We went to one house where we stole their mailbox, which is another big time crime. And they had like a milk crate, and it's with a sign that says mail goes here, because they had no mailbox. It was awful. I had to give them back their mailbox. It was terrible. Did all this shit. Not a problem in the world. Everything's free. A couple of weeks later, I get my mugshot. I get my, what do you call it? Fingerprints. I give the negatives to the people that worked on the yearbook staff. I go, here you go. It's my negatives. They put it in the yearbook. It was awesome. I take it back. It was not the yearbook. It was it's called the senior book, which is like the yearbook, but just like a, not as thorough of a publication. It was in there. It was on the freaking cover. So when I showed up to school on Monday after the felony charge was dropped, man, imagine that. This was big news. I mean, this was at a time when there wasn't really a lot of creativity for how you got in trouble. Nowadays, people shoot up banks, or, pregnant abortion, orgy. I mean, teachers sleeping with the kids. That didn't happen back when I was going to school. So this was a big deal. Man, I was an instant stud. Everybody knew who the fuck I was. Just like that. Unbelievable levels of popularity. And it follows me still to this day. As with Kevin seeing that. What is the story behind this? That is the great scavenger hunt story, as told once again on the Eric Zane Show podcast. I hope you enjoyed as much as I love telling that story. All right, guy who broke his legs. He has gone up $115 since the last time we spoke. God, we got to help this poor son of a bitch. Come on. Every time you turn around on GoFundMe, there's a story about some kid who's seen, walking home 1 mile from work. And then, he waves at someone. So they do a GoFundMe for him, which raises $90 million for him. This son of a bitch just wanted to entertain people, breaks both of his sticks. He's got a little kid, no medical insurance. And, it's going to be a long slog to get this thing to $10,000, let alone $200,000. Oh, my God. Please make this go viral. Feel so bad for that guy. That's going to do it for this podcast. I thank you. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, questions for Dear Meathead for a future show, don't be a stranger. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Thanks for contributing with your stories. Thanks for supporting the show on Patreon and whatever else, even if it's just your time. I'm happy with that. Just glad to be here. Thanks, folks. Have a good one. We'll talk to you on Patreon a little bit later on. Till then, bye-bye. I got to check back because I'm laughing. There's a discussion that all of that money that you guys raise for us out of the kindness of your heart as a gift, that I'm going to give that to him. I don't worry, I'm not going to do that. I was going to do like everybody else and give the dude $10, but it's just funny because I did put the link to the dude's GoFundMe, and Kenny is not having it at all when it comes to any type of sympathy for that dude. He wrote, do stupid things, win stupid prizes. He was doing a wrestling bit. He jumped 1 foot in the air. It really wasn't that dumb. It's really hilarious to see Kenny having this hard and fast stance against this guy, and then he wrote, fuck that guy. Come on, man. Oh, shit. All right. Well, don't worry. I'm not going to do that. Then Kenny says he was too fucking fat for that. Hold on. All right. Hold on. We're not going to end. We're never going to end this. Hey, Siri. Call Kenny no on speaker.
Calling Kenny no on speaker.
Oh my God, man.
Look, there is it's really a crazy day if the warm and fuzzy Kenny is taking a hard and fast stance on this fucker. Yeah.
Well, man, look, I saw it last night. My mistake. I didn't want to see it. And yes, my whole body cringed when I saw it. And, I mean, I dropped my phone. It was so bad. But that was a big dude. That's the same as me doing that. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then the thought of you like, hey, we don't need all this money you guys are, you know,
giving
to us, so I'm going to give it to this guy. I was like, oh, my God, no, you don't.
No, it got you thinking. No, I wouldn't do that. I was just laughing at you telling that guy to go fuck himself. Holy shit, man. What the fuck?
I haven't seen the GoFundMe, but
oh, yeah. He's got a little boy.
The guy knew he didn't have insurance. What possessed him to do that?
I don't know. I guess we all do dumb things at one time or another. I don't know. He got me at a moment of weakness. I feel terrible for that guy.
Well, I'm glad that you feeling terrible equals $10 and not the whole amount.
All right. Really good. Well, I hope you enjoyed the podcast today. I worked hard at it. I hope it was funny.
Oh, hell yeah, man. It was good. I got like zero work done.
Okay. Well, get after it. You got work to do.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. See ya. There you go. Kenny. That's it. That is it. Now we're done. Quote, fuck that guy. He was too fucking fat for that. Oh, holy shit. I wouldn't even say that. All right, now we're done. Thanks again, folks. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.